Hey, what's up guys, this is SpunkyPie here for MMOHut.com. Today I'm going to be presenting you guys with the top 5 free-to-play games in 2011. Now when I say free-to-play games in 2011, I don't mean it necessarily came out in 2011, I just mean that these are the top dogs in the industry currently right now, and definitely ones that you should check out if you haven't already. Now to begin this off, we have Dragon Nest at number 5. Now Dragon Nest is published by Nexon, and it is a heavily instance-based MMORPG with great intense skill shot combat. Now what skill shot combat means essentially is that instead of just clicking on a monster and then hitting 1, 2, 3, or 4 for your abilities and auto attacking, every attack that you do in the game is based off your mouse clicks. You have to actually hover over the monster, you have to aim, and then you also have to use your skills on cooldown. So it makes for really great combos in combat, and it's really immersive. On top of this, the spell graphics that go along with your abilities are really great. There's a lot of great animations with that, making it really pretty to look at as well. There's a really interesting quests and always dynamic quests as well as bosses that are in the actual instances themselves. There's really great fun PvP both alone and in groups, and the PvP modes are always being updated to include more maps and more modes. There's team-based housing, there's also new cities, instances, level cap updates, and daily quests, which are all added regularly. I think since the game launched this year, there's been 3 to 4 major updates in the game. Always great to see that, and it's a really great game to check out if you like that type of MMORPG. Now, at number 4, we have a little mix-up. We have the Eden Eternal, which is from Area Games. Now, this is an open-world MMORPG, or primarily open-world MMORPG, I should say. And it's really great. It's got kind of an anime-style graphics. There are clean animations and graphics. There's also a really unique class leveling system in the game, where essentially you can have one character at max level, but you can level independently as you level up the character different classes. So you can have one that's like a tank class, one's a mage class, and you can just level it up independently without having to re-roll the character, which is great because the game sees a lot of major content updates a lot in the form of new races, crafting abilities, and classes. So if there's a new class that's updated, you don't actually have to re-roll in order to play that, making this a great game to check out if you really like checking out different classes in the game. And plus the combat is really fun and fast, so it's definitely worth seeing. So then at number 3, we have a game that actually started out as pay to play, or buy to play rather, and has since gone free to play, and that is Team Fortress 2, or TF2, and that is published by Valve. This is Valve's first free to play game, and it's actually a shooter. However, it's got a really unique crafting system placed into the game. The combat is fun, it's very competitive, really great. The graphics is a unique cel-shaded graphics game, and on top of this, there's clan support, there's consistent content updates. They add new weapons and items all the time. There's server support for your own TF2 servers, as well as craftable weapons, like I said. Now, one of the really cool things I think about this game is that there's user-made maps and modes, meaning that even if you don't play, or if you get tired of the main maps that Valve releases, there's always new maps being added by the community, and new modes like Prop Hunt, where basically you're turned into a prop and people have to find you. And it makes it really fun to keep playing that and just, keep crafting your new weapons and items that you can get in game, hats, all kinds of stuff. TF2 is a really great game if you like shooters, and I definitely recommend checking that out. Now coming in at number 2, we have League of Legends. Now League of Legends is probably a game that everybody's heard of by now. It's by Riot Games. Currently it has about 15 million concurrent players. It's been out for a couple years, but 2011 was no slouch for League of Legends. They came out with a lot of great updates. They continue to provide excellent content for all the new players, both old and new. They have new gameplays like Dominion, which is of course the faster pace mode for people who didn't really like the slow pace of Summoner's Rift, which is the 5v5. Dominion adds the capture and hold points like capture the flag or domination, I guess you could say. And it also allows newer players to get into the game by including a revamped AI system for the bots, and also co-op versus AI, where you can play with your friends versus the AI bots and just have a more relaxed experience. Of course, they always add, every 2 weeks, they add new updates and balancing to keep the game fresh. They add new champions all the time, new skins, great things to check out. A really fun game, a lot of people playing it. I play it. It's a really great game to check out if you haven't already. It's probably the leading MOBA game of its genre. In fact, it is the leading MOBA game of its genre, and completely free to play, of course. Only have to buy skins if you wanted to. Now, at number 1, and the reason I'm putting this game at number 1 is DC Universe Online, which is published by Sony Online Entertainment. Now, I'm putting this in number 1 because it was recently released free to play only about a month and a half ago, and it has already seen a growth of over 1 million players, basically. 1 million new players playing DC Universe Online. It is an iconic superhero-based MMORPG. Really easy to get into. One of the great things is it's highly customizable. You can make your character look like almost anything, almost as much as you could in City of Heroes, which is also a free-to-play MMORPG. But the graphics in DC Universe Online, top-notch, physics-based combat, which is cool. You can pick up items in the world, throw them around, they bounce around realistically. You have great combat. It is all timed combat, so you can do combos with your left and right mouse clicks, as well as using, of course, the standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your abilities, which makes it a really cool mix-up of abilities and combos that you can do. There's iconic superheroes like Superman, Batman, and supervillains like the Joker and Lex Luthor, all those kind of people. There's really great voice acting in this game. There's a lot of high-quality cutscenes. On top of this, there's PvP, both iconic PvP, where you can play as characters from like the Riddler and the Joker against Batman and Robin, and there's also, of course, standard PvP where you can do different modes like capture the flag, which is our domination, team deathmatch, etc. with your own character. There's a lot of things that you can do there. They provide regular content updates just as well as any other MMORPG. I think they've provided 2 new free-to-play content updates since the game's gone live. It's really easy to get max level and start, doing raids and solo instances as well as group instances. The cutscenes, like I said, are really great. It's really, really a great MMORPG, and I'm really glad to see that this one went free to play, because I feel like it's one of the most polished MMORPGs that's gone free to play recently. This is the MMO that I play the most right now. I really enjoy the superhero theme, and I've had a lot of friends get into it as well, so I definitely recommend checking this out. Now, I do have a couple of honorable mentions. They didn't make it in the top 5, but they're both 2 games that you should definitely check out if you enjoy, number 1, League of Legends and Dragon Nest. Those 2 games are Heroes of Newerth, which is published by S2 Games, and Perfect World's Rusty Hearts. Now, Heroes of Newerth is a mobile style game just like League of Legends. It is notably harder than League of Legends, but there are just as many heroes in that game, as well as really great graphics, fast, frantic gameplay, and if you like the MOBA genre, if you like League of Legends, I'd say definitely check out Heroes of Newerth. It may be something that you would enjoy. And Rusty Hearts is a great game because it's similar to Dragon's Nest in that you have like the instance-based PvE where you go in and you work your way through. There's a lot of really great animations and graphic styles that are presented in this game. We have really cool end bosses. In fact, I'd have to say that the end bosses graphically are more interesting in Rusty Hearts so far than Dragon Nest, but I do feel like that Rusty Hearts is a good game to check out if you like Dragon Nest. However, I just feel like Dragon Nest has a slight advantage on Rusty Hearts in total PvE content and just replayability. But I definitely recommend checking out both of those games. Those are 2 great honorable mentions, and the list was only 5, so I had to make some cuts somewhere. If you guys have any other games that you feel would be worth the list, or if you just want to talk about these games below or find out more about them, each one of these games will be linked in the description below, so you can go directly to the page, read the review, and then go to the download page or the official site page if you want to learn more. This has been Spunkify out. I'll see you guys on MMOHut.com, and that'll be later. Bye.